Hey guys, it's Wahima, but just call me Wah. Melanated! Welcome to another episode of 90 Day Fiancé the Other Way. This is season 1, episode 11, Blind Trust. So this episode was a little bit boring this week, you guys, so this video is going to be short. For those of you guys who are not watching this live, I'm going to be talking about the series. I'm just going to continue talking. I'm not going to be looking at the comment section. For those of you who are watching this live, if you would like a comment to jump out at me, please go on ahead and do a super chat or a sticker or something. But when I'm done with the episode, I will have time to go to the comment section and look, and we can have a little kiki at the end of this video. Okay, so don't forget to check out my merch below. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and let's jump right into the first couple. This episode was boring. I'm not going to lie to you. That's why it took me so long to get it up. That's why I didn't feel like filming a video. Like if I don't have reenactments to do or like really something interesting or fun to say, like it just feels like a waste of time to spend 6 hours editing a video. So I decided to just go live after some talk with my therapist because, you know, she was feeling guilty about it. The light's too bright. All right, there we go. So, okay, let's jump into the first couple. Tiffany and Ronald, they got married, you know. They built up this drama that he was going to go to the casino to pick up her father, who is a strapping Latin gentleman, okay? So Ronald made it. He heard the bling, bling, blings of the lights, and he made it out of the desert to the sunlight, you know what I'm saying? He made it out of the desert to the oasis, or what is it? He made it out of the 40 years in the desert to the promised land. That's a better one. So he made it out of the 40 years in the desert to the promised land and was able to take her father back to the house they were staying at, and him and Daniel, and she felt such a sense of relief. They both go to the place where they're going to get ready for the wedding, and they get ready. She's very excited. They have a lovely wedding, and you know, it was fine. Her sister was there, her mom and her grandmother weren't, but she says that it was bittersweet because she got her dad there to walk her down the aisle. So I thought that was very nice, and I wish them the best. She looked absolutely beautiful. Tiffany is just so beautiful. So it was actually a really cool scene. I think next week's episode is going to be much more interesting. They're looking for apartments, and then they, you know, have to talk about how dangerous South Africa is and like electrified fences and shit. So like, let's see what they tell us next week. All right. So other thing that's happening is Devin and Jihoon, or let's go to the next couple. Next couple, Devin and Jihoon. So Devin has to have the baby early, and she's kind of upset with Jihoon because she told him not to purchase the ticket, but he purchased it anyway, and it turns out that the date is being moved up. He cannot change his ticket. It's going to cost too much money. She's being a little spoiled, a little bit pampered, when she's like, I don't understand why he can't change the tickets and pay more money. My whole thing is that already flying is an expense, especially if you're flying international. Like, I'm not changing any tickets to do nothing if I'm not making a lot of money. And Jihoon just fixes phones. He's not necessarily like a lawyer or a doctor or a businessman. Like, I mean, well, he might be a businessman if his businessman is the phones, but it's a small business. So I understand him not being able to be there. So it looks like, as we've been seeing in promos, that he's going to watch the baby being born on video chat. She says that she's not very upset about it because she has to stay calm. Her blood pressure is 170 and the baby's blood pressure is 200. Girl, I would have been like, take this baby out of me immediately. Like, it doesn't even matter that he can't be there. That sucks. But I have my whole family surrounding me. My mom can be there. Other people can be there. So it's fine. But just help me save me and my baby. You know what I'm saying? So I know, I'm sure the baby is born healthy, but I wish the baby is born healthy, and I hope that everything is okay with Jihoon. Okay, so the next couple, I mean, Jihoon and Devin. All right, so the next couple that we're going to talk about, Paul and Carini. All right, it's some nonsense with Paul and Carini again. Paul is still kind of talking about DNA tests. Now he's saying that it's because of the visa that he needed to ask her for a DNA test, which I don't believe. And Carini even asks him, like, what if they don't need the visa, the DNA? And he's like, well, I guess we don't need it. But girl, he ends up looking at her phone, and while he's looking at her phone, somebody ends up texting her. And so she has been contacting or having a conversation with somebody in English. It's a male, and Paul becomes jealous. But I skipped ahead. Before that, they go house hunting. So luckily, they have a realtor who speaks both Portuguese and English, and so he's talking to the both of them. He shows them a house that is $11.70 a month US. That is too expensive for them, but it has great amenities like air conditioning, a big backyard, like nice spaces. The kitchen is spacious. It actually even comes with furniture as well. And Karini's like, it's too much money. And Paul knows it's too much money, but I think his American like brain is like, how can I make this work? Like, this is all the comforts that I need. There's netting over the windows so not let any insects in, you know, because he's still worried about poo-poo water and malaria. So they go to see another house because Karini's like instantly like, no, this is not going to work. They go to see another house, which is livable. It doesn't have air conditioning. It's spacious enough. And it's only like 200 or something a month, like maybe 400, girl, I don't know, but it was so much cheaper that for Paul, who doesn't have a job, no prospects, doesn't speak the language, like didn't have any money when he came here, his mom and his daddy's not gonna pay for shit, like that was the house they needed. And Paul was like, no, I don't want to live here, I can't live here. I'm like, Paul, you don't have any choice. I know in your brain you're still in America and you have a choice about things, but here in these non-United States of the Amazon, I'm gonna need you to get that to, I think I'm just going to say 400. Get that $400 house, okay? Like, you'll be fine. You guys will be fine. And then when you find a job and you get settled, then you'll be like, it's just ridiculous. And like, Karini's frustrated with him because they're still living at the mom's place and the mom hates Paul. And so she's always looking at him like mad side eye and always talking mad shit about him. And he's uncomfortable there, but what other choice does he have? So let's get back to the part now where he finds her, talking to somebody in English on her phone. So she looks at him and she's like, you really want to have this argument here and now because her mom is there and because they're in their parents' house? And he's just like, well, I just don't trust you. That's what makes me want to do a DNA test because you're talking to other men. If I were doing the opposite, would you be okay with it? And she's like, yeah, because I'm not doing anything. But the truth is that Carini would be upset. But she says in her confessionals that, to be honest, she really thinks that Paul is jealous only because he recognizes that he treats her poorly and he's worried that someone else is going to snatch her up. I think it is that, but at the same time, I don't think Paul recognizes that he treats her poorly. I think that his mental illness and depression and whatever else that he has is, he just can't see past it. That's why he's unable to pull himself out of a manic episode when he's having one. So I mean, she's giving him the much benefit of the doubt. Paul is still acting the way he's acting and she's noticing that. And she realizes that she can't do anything about it but divorce him. And I don't know how much that's going to cost, what that's going to do, who's going to help her take care of that baby. Like, I think she's in a precarious situation that she got herself into, let's be real. But she didn't know any better, you know? Settling with Paul was a bad choice, a really bad choice. All right, so the next couple that we're going to talk about is Aladeen and Laura. So, basically Laura is in Qatar and doesn't want to adhere to Qatari policy, law, rules, or culture. She doesn't want to wear the garments that most Qatari women wear because she feels like as an American, she shouldn't have to, and that Americans have a right to choose what they wear, and she doesn't want society to dictate what she wears. And I said, well, if that's what you want, then you need to move to America, because if you're in this country, you're going to be expected to, you're going to have problems, right? And he's just basically saying you can wear it from the house to the car to the store. Like, you don't have to wear it all the time. You don't have to go out all the time. Anyways, it's not like she can go out and just like sit out at a bar. She can't. I mean, she can because I guess people might see her as a tourist, but really if she gets her citizenship and whatnot, like I don't think women are supposed to be sitting out in public without at least like two or a man there. I'm not sure. I could be wrong, but where did I hear that? There was some, maybe it isn't Qatar, it's some culture where women just really don't chill out. Like they're not like hanging out at, you know, at the tea shop, like sitting outside. Like if they are hanging out, they're in the house and they're comfortable, right? Because when women are in the house, they're not wearing the hijab, they're not wearing the burqa, they're not, or whatever their garments are. They only wear it when they're out in public. So why would you be out in public to be as uncomfortable? Like, so I just think that it's foolish of her to go there and not want to adhere to the culture that is there and just try to be this American blonde lady walking around. Like, I don't know. Honestly, I'm going to be keeping 100%. If I moved to the Middle East to be with my love, I would wear something on my head. I just would. Like, who cares? Like, I don't care. I don't care about like my freedom. Like, who the fuck cares? I'm with the person I love. Like, and if you're supposed to wear clothing, like whatever, I'm going to do it. So I don't understand that intrinsically, like why you would go somewhere else and then demand to be able to do what you want to do. I think that you should follow the culture of the place that you're at, unless it's like terrible. And then she goes and says something that's like, you know, women aren't able to do that. And I know that there are a lot of Western women who feel like all of the women in the Middle East are like second-class citizens. And I do think that to a certain extent that commentary is correct. But for the most part, I think that these women are just following their religious edict. Like this is a choice from their religious edict. Now, sometimes the country doesn't give them a choice, right? Like certain countries will give a woman a choice to wear the hijab or not wear it. But certain Middle Eastern countries don't give them the choice to wear it. Like this is the way you're gonna praise Islam. This is the way you're gonna practice Islam, and that's covering up your hair. But like, and I do think intrinsically it is a patriarchal problem. However, I don't think it's up to Western women to look down on those women and say that they're being held back. I think that there needs to still be a level of respect for the women who are proud to wear their hijab, especially the women who are in the US. And also, you know, Middle Eastern women are not the only women who cover their hair, you know, for religious reasons. They really aren't. So, you know, people need to get more information about that before they're like, oh, those women are being treated. I mean, yes, I do agree that there is a certain level of patriarchy that we wouldn't stand for here and that women are treated poorly. But I mean, to want to be the one person to go over there and defy that is just a little foolhardy to me. Like, you're not gonna, why put yourself in an imposition and in trouble and cause drama for your husband just because you feel like you're an American and you should be able to do what you want to do. And I mean, I do see her point, but I'm like, you made a choice to move there, so you kind of have to deal with it. She does talk to him about the sex toy a little bit and asks him to be more open, and he's not going to be. He's not going to do it. She's already embarrassed him in front of national TV, like, and said that his jiggy jiggy was bad. And like, girl, that makes me so sad. I mean, I've had bad jiggy jiggy where I'm just like, slow down, please, like my neck, you know. Stop doing that. It doesn't feel the same for me. She meets his boss, and I thought he was a personal trainer. Maybe he's personally training that man. Maybe he has 2 jobs. But he meets her boss, but she meets his boss, and his boss has this like beautiful land, and he has like ostriches and different birds, and he like breeds birds and sells birds, and they're like upward to $250,000, which is a lot of money. So he welcomes Laura, he shakes her hand, and that was kind of a thing that he was trying to explain to her in Qatari culture. A woman just doesn't put her hand out to shake hands. Like, there needs to be like, the man needs to put his hand out. So yes, is it a sexist place? Seemingly, yes, but like, I'm not going to go there and try to change it. But she then says, okay, that worked. She shook his hand. And then the boss ends up telling her that he's allowed to marry 4 different women in Qatar. And that sometimes the wife knows and approves and picks it out the woman and is a great and a lovely sister wife. And sometimes it isn't. And the man just needs like another place to go, maybe because that lifestyle is a little too stressful. So she's just like now concerned. The point is that this woman went and married a younger man and now is just riddled with guilt and frustration and insecurity because she doesn't live up to a lot. She's not even in close. Like, we all know that Darcy from 90 Day Fiancé tries to keep up with young women and keep looking fresh and good and like whatnot, and has got her face done and wears fashionable clothes. But Laura is the exact opposite of any woman that he could get from the US, the exact opposite. And at some point, she's just gonna have to give in and recognize that like he chose her, period, point blank, and she's just gonna have to accept it for what it is. I wish that she was as comfortable as Jenny is with Sumit, but it's not the case. And it just makes me, if they can't trust each other. My connection dropped for a little bit. Am I back now? All right. So, yeah, I just think that Laura really, to me, isn't, not to say that she should have to, but if I were as insecure as she is, I would just do what I needed to do to keep up. So there's that. All right. So the last couple that we are going to talk about is Cory and Evelyn. So let me take off my TV. Maybe that's what's happening too. I'm trying to take off all of the Wi-Fi, but it's not working. Sorry, you guys, if it keeps buffering. So basically, I feel like, okay, let me tell you what happened. So Cory decided he's going to get out into the village and work with the people, and he does. And as he's on his way home from doing that, somebody yells out his name, and it isn't his name. It's her ex-boyfriend. It's Evelyn's ex-boyfriend name, who she was only with for 2 years. But for whatever reason, he made a long-lasting impression on this entire town. Okay, she's been with Cory for 4 years and they can't even be bothered to remember his name. And so he feels disrespected and he confronts the guys on it friendly, letting him know what his name is. And then he goes over to where she's at the bar and says, hey, honey, how are you doing? How was the bar today? And she says, well, I could have used some help, but I really think it's great that you're going into the town and getting to know the people. And I just think, Evelyn, girl, like, why'd you have to tell him that you could have really used some help? Like, you're going to have to handle this shit by yourself if you want him to go out and do all the things that you expect him to do. That was annoying. I'm starting to get annoyed with her. You know, I gave her the benefit of the doubt. I just really think this is the situation. He's super in love with her, and there is no reason why she shouldn't just allow him to do all the things that he's doing for her. And so she lets it happen, but she really isn't into him. There's something about him that doesn't make her, you know, fall head over heels. He loves her way more than she loves him. He's been there for a month already. He says he wants to keep the peace with her because he has 60 days to get her to marry him so he could stay in the country. My question is what does she think is going to happen? Is she putting him on a trial run and then going to decide a week before the 90 days are up whether or not she's going to marry him to allow him to stay into this country? Is that what's happening? Because she has to know that there's a time limit and that he's eventually going to propose. Otherwise, he can't stay in the country. I just don't get what's going on. Like, and it almost feels like Cory is, not that I've never seen it, but I feel like most women are in situations, no, I'm not even going to say most. I say that I've seen a lot of women in situations like Cory and Evelyn, except for the woman is Cory and Evelyn's the man, where he can kind of take it or leave it. And the woman is just really trying to make that shit work because all she wants to do is find a ring on her finger. All she wants to do is be happy. And she really likes this person and they've spent X amount of time together. And now she's just doing what she has to do to try to make this work. And I just feel like he's too young to give it all up on Evelyn, who doesn't want to give it all up for him. So we talk about her ex-boyfriend and she says that she's still in contact with him. And normally I'd be like, oh, who cares? Like blah, blah, blah. But no, I feel like it's inappropriate for her to be in contact with him. Apparently when Evelyn and Cory went on a break, which he's not even really certain they were actually on a break. I guess he didn't want to go on a break and she went on a break. She hooked up with him. I don't know if that meant had sex or like cuddled or kissed or hung out, but whatever. She ran back into the arms of her ex. So in my mind, she really likes her ex more than she likes Cory. And I don't know what the difference is. Maybe the ex won't actually move to Ingabao, or I don't know, but he's an American man too. So he offers the same benefits. If she's even looking for those type of benefits, he offers the same benefits as Cory. And then she doesn't want to talk about it. And so he decides that he's not going to talk about it because he doesn't want to upset her. But this is a real issue. She's like, I don't want to talk about it. This is in the past. I already apologized for you. I already apologized about it. And it's not my fault that people remember his name more than yours. It's because he was much more friendly and his name is easier to remember. We don't even have a name like Cory here. And I'm just like, I'm going to say it. This bitch, she rude. Okay. She rude AF. She don't like Cory. Cory's on this television show looking dumb. And it's just kind of hard to watch at this point. I don't feel like, normally I'm like, yes, queen, yes, diva, yes, like, tell that man. But I don't feel that way because I feel like she's being an absolute asshole. So that's just where I'm at with her. So I tried to give her the benefit of the doubt, and you guys know I did. You guys absolutely know I tried to give Evelyn the benefit of the doubt, but I just can't. All right, so it looks like next week's episode with Paula Carini is going to be fantastico. So there should be a video for that. You guys, it looks like it's going to be great. All right, what are y'all talking about? Oh, so those of you guys who are watching this not live, those of you guys who are watching this on the playback, this is the end of the video. Y'all can click away, go about your lives. I'm just going to kiki with the people in the comment section and the live chat for just a secuex and see what you guys are talking about. 230 people are in this room right now and only 55 likes. Come on. You could give me more likes than that. We're about to kiki. All right. So for those of you who are leaving, thank you so much for watching. Remember to check out my video. Remember to check out my other videos. I have more videos coming out this week. Don't forget to check out my merch down below. And have a fantastic week. And remember to be you, be true, and find your place. Bye. Ooh, girl, a 19-minute video. She did it. All right, let's get closer so we can read the comments in the comment section. Let's put on our dirty glasses and see what everybody's talking about. Cindy J says, yes, Cory is a total beta. Absolutely. DC Mirage says, it's not intelligent. It's not, what? It's not elegant. It's just not overt. Dana Hughes says, isn't Evelyn and Cory already happily married? I don't know. Tiana says, wow, she makes me sick. Evelyn didn't pay $700 for that car. Hi, Tiana. Thank you for coming in and doing the Lord's work. Love and Life says she throws shade on him on the low. LOL, right to his face. I agree. She does throw shade on him. Amanda White says, just got to say, Paul in the doghouse. Girl, I cannot wait for Paul to climb his dumb ass into that doghouse just to get a moment of peace. Imagine how it smells in there. I'm not saying that a dog will shit in there or pooper there, right? Obviously not. But just imagine the smell. Whew, girl, I don't want to. Hi, Mari. Kimberly Mayfield, the funniest thing I haven't seen yet. Oh, girl, it's coming. Kiara says, imagine the spiders in there. Lily says, Paul is a hot mess. And Shonda said, Paul needs a Caribbean woman. Paul doesn't need no woman. Paul needs to go to a center to learn to control his emotions, okay? Danny the girl says, they play it like after the 90 days, they have to leave. You just have to go to the neighboring country and enter again. Oh, hello. Hilarious. Amanda White says, love this show. Love and Life says, I saw somewhere they're saying it's not a doghouse, but an outhouse. Oh my God. That's not an outhouse. It was too small to be an outhouse. Doward Washington. Oh, well, hello, Doward. Crystal says, hey, Wall, love your hair. Thank you, Crystal. I just got it done a week ago. Funny thing about this hair is that I didn't do an apple cider vinegar rinse on the hair before I put it in my hat, before I put it on my hair, because the woman who did my hair had the hair available. Like the hair is included in the price. And girl, my scalp was very, very itchy. And I think I'm going to have to do another rinse next week just to see if I can get it all out. My scalp is allergic to it. It has got bumps in it. It hurts, but the hair is beautiful and I love it. I already did the rinse. Can you believe I already did a rinse and it still looks like brand new? Isn't that crazy? That's a testament to how bad she is. Like, she's so good. She is one of the best braiders I've had. I've scratched it a little bit in the center here, so it looks kind of like fluffy, but I need to do one more apple cider vinegar rinse, the whole thing, let it sit for like 20, 30 minutes, and then wash it out, and I think I'll be better. My scalp will be more healthy. All right. So Danny the girl says, my American boyfriend leaves every 90 days, so no need to get married. That's so hilarious. Cindy J says, Paul needs to get himself correct before he can be a decent partner. I agree. Amanda White says, loved it when he reached out and closed the doghouse door. Trixie Johnson says, Paul needs to be by himself. Amanda says, love your hair. Thank you. Kimberly said, it's so good. Yes. Do the rinse and learn the hard way. Tiana says, I need her in my life. Lucy says, oh my God, so pretty. Looks so soft. It is really soft. It's the softest braiding hair I've ever felt in my life, which is why the price was as much as it was. Thank you so, Charisma. All right, so we talked about Cory and Evelyn. What do you guys, we talked about Paul and Carini and Cory and Evelyn. What do you guys think? Oh, let's get back to Carini. What do you guys think about Carini having this like conversation with this American man? You think Paul is right? I think Paul is right. Let me know. Daniela, I hope it's cute. Hope you love it. Shonda says, it was a low blow when he was talking about the other guy. I just shake my head. Lucy says, Paul needs to invest in pregnancy stick stock. Kimberly says, Paul is right. Carini wants some more options. Carini is setting herself up to leave Paul. Tiana says she is too thirsty. Who does that? Mari says, I think she was trying to be nice because they sent her money. Oh, yeah. Unfortunately, I agree with Paul too, Aaliyah. Charisma says, I believe Paul knew. Oh, where'd he go? She took it back. Okay. Raven says, I think Paul sucks and that she has to pay the bills some way. Yeah. She said the man was sending top 10 things to worry about at the moment. True that, Danny. Dana says, she seems to be getting advice from someone. Amanda says, I think Paul has reason to be mad. She flat out said that he sends her money. Yeah, I agree with you guys. I really do think Paul has a reason to be mad. And that's the first time Carini has done anything to let me believe that Paul has a right to be annoyed or upset or mad. Yeah. I mean, it's wrong that she's taking money from another person. But I mean, if she needs it to pay her bills because Paul isn't doing the damn thing, then she needs at least to be honest with him and be like, hey, I'm getting money from these people or this person's doing this. Like, I don't even know that I think that she's thirsty. I just think that now that she's on the show, it's opened up her world. It really has. And so like a woman who has limited opportunity is taking advantage of her opportunity. Now, is it wrong because she's married? Absolutely. But is she cheating on him? I don't know. Maybe she's just saying hi and talking to him and he's sending her money. That's a conversation she needs to have with Paul. Like, if you're not going to pay the bills, I'm going to continue to take money and opportunities from other people. As long as it isn't like, let me show you my tata. Like, you know, they know she's pregnant. So Tiana says thirsty, but maybe she's throaty too. What? Trixie Johnson says she needs to pay her bills. Dana says, honestly, I think Paul and Carini have a horrible life together. Oh yeah, Dana girl. Yeah. Dana. Yeah. Thanks for agreeing with me, Amanda. Aaliyah says, I still don't understand why Paul didn't work or financially prepare. Because Paul thought Mama was going to pay for it. Remember he was trying to guilt his mama into doing it? Mom, you know I don't have any of the options. She's like, I'm sorry, Paul, but you know Father and I can't give you anything right now. Mags says her mother probably advised her to find men to send her money because Paul can't finally support her. Okay, Mags, I wouldn't put that past Mama at all. Mama looks at Paul like she does not like him. Anne says there is a picture of her and Paul with the baby at a mall. Mama must have sponsored them. Maybe they're just visiting. This is the thing too. I didn't understand why they weren't visiting, why she never visited him in the US. Maybe they're just visiting. Paul can't even shovel cow poop. I mean, he was trying so hard, Amanda. He was trying so hard. April Nelson says, wow, you looking fine today, lady. Thank you. I don't get why Paul isn't working. Mari, there's a lot we don't understand about Paul, girl. Okay. That's one of them. Teacher Jan says, Paul is so sloppy, lazy bum. Carini must be desperate to get the green card. I just think she doesn't know she has other options. And like, she does kind of like, girl, I don't know. I'm just making shit up. I don't know. All right, let's go back to Laura and Aladeen. So what do you guys think of Laura going to Qatar trying to act brand new? Like, tell me, because I have such like, I don't like to say, oh, the women over in the Middle East are second-class citizens. Like, I just feel like it downplays the women who are over there living their fucking lives and doing the damn thing. I don't know enough about the culture in the Middle East and from country to country in the Middle East to really like make a blanket statement that they're a second-class citizen, because I know some women from the Middle East who are actually from the Middle East, and while it is better for them in the U.S., they still love their beloved country and go back and visit. Like, I don't know. I just feel like it's kind of like judgmental and rude of me as an American just to be like, oh, they're second-class citizens, and I'm going to go over there and show those men that I'm not covering my hair. All right. So Danny the girl says, if you try to get a tourist visa, having an American boyfriend, they deny it because they think you're going to overstay. Oh, she's talking about something else. Mari says, no, they, especially in the EAU, women are there. Oh my God. Yeah. Not second-class citizens, just limited rights. Tiana says, Laura is going to embarrass Aladeen. I agree. Mari says, living their best life. I agree too. I've seen these women in Dubai and in the UAE, United Arab Emirates, living their motherfucking lives. And so is Lebanon. Lebanon is pretty non-Middle East, like it's like liberal or something. Like it's not as strict. Laura is insane. Qatar is not the place to be talking to you, talking about your American rights. I agree, April. Caitlin says, well, we're talking about that. Not all women in the Middle East don't cover. I know that to be true too. When in Rome, do what the Romans do, says Lucy. I agree. Mona says, I hate when people date bi-national and then don't do research on the other country, not wanting to improve. I dated internationally and have always tried to get to know the culture. Hi, Mona. Mona's in Germany. Yeah, Mona, I agree with you. Mag says, Laura is just dumb. Why does she feel so entitled? If that was the other way, she should have had him assimilate to the U.S. I don't know that the travel ban, I don't know where the travel ban is, but Aladeen probably couldn't get to the U.S. And that's what she also mentioned, too, that there was some issue with him trying to get to the U.S. It was easier for her to go over there than the other way around. Why in the hell is she dead set on telling the whole fucking world that Addison is lousy in bed? Yeah, I think she's jealous and thinks women will leave him alone. I don't think that's the reason, but I do think that she definitely has like done this thing. Like, she embarrassed him. They should have at least been on the same page about it. Let's see. Laura's going to lose her shit and tell him where the hell to go, says 11 Life. Lucy says Lebanon is second to Europe, very fashionable, and not everybody covers, and they have Christians and Muslims there. Yeah. Chris is Lebanese and she's Christian. Aspasia, hi, Wa. I'm super late. Yeah, girl, you are super late. I've been on for 30 minutes. But I'll be here for another couple more minutes. We're talking about 90 Day the Other Way. Teacher Jan says she's as bad as Nicole when she kept grabbing Azan. Kimberly Mayfield, she's too old to be sexually unsatisfied. I mean, yeah, but she made that choice. Mona says, hi, Wall. Love that I make it to your live before going to bed. I love it too, Mona. Rickety Wren says, Laura is judgmental and feels superior. I agree. I absolutely agree. Amanda says, I can't believe that she said all that about him. How humiliating. Yeah, she told everybody that he needs help in bed and then went to a sex shop in the U.S., bought coochie cream, bought sex for dummies, bought a vibrator, and then took it to him. And then he actually blocked her. After the show aired, I heard rumored that after the show, those first couple episodes aired, especially the one where he like busts out the vibrator, he blocked her for a while. He was so mad. I mean, internationally, she embarrassed him. Like, his friends got feed of this and embarrassed him. Like, not a lot of cultures and countries don't expect men to be good in bed. In fact, I feel like most men are not. Given the choice, I feel like most men would not be good in bed. They just wouldn't be. Unless they have respect and love for their woman and they really want to pleasure her. Like, I feel like most of them don't care. Like, not most, not all, majority. If they didn't have to perform, they would not do so because they can just, it's so easy for them. Not all of them, but most of them. Latu says Laura is doing way much and she can't even get a man like him in America. Aspasius, ooh, we jumped so fast. It's going so fast. I can't read. Tiana says because men are selfish AF. But yeah, I know. I run into a lot of men who don't understand that women don't feel it the same way as men and that it isn't as easy to orgasm as men. And they are astounded. They're like, what? It's not. No, it's not the same. Like, it really isn't. It's a whole finesse. Now, for some women it is. It's easy. But for a lot of women it isn't. Sally says, does Lori think she's going to train him? I don't know, but embarrassing him on national television was not it. Shonda says, is she basing off of looks? He is hot. Latu says, you pronounced my name correctly. Oh, I try. Love and Life says, I remember too, I highly doubt they watch porn over there and stuff. Yeah. Amanda White says, 2 minutes? Whew, girl, that's terrible. April says, LOL, Amanda. Sarah says, hello, just got here. Hi, Sarah. DC says, porn is not the way to learn. It isn't the way to learn, but it is helpful. I know, I've argued with a friend about this. Like, it's helpful to, have something. It isn't the way to learn, but it's all that we really have because there's no other way to teach it unless you have a parent or an uncle or something that you're comfortable with. No, Crystal says Laura has no self-respect for herself and for him and needed to keep that private. I agree. Aspasia says, I feel bad for Cory. I don't think it's going to end up good for him. Tiana says, I love some good old-fashioned porn-style kinky sex. Yeah, it's not the way to learn because I think some people think that that's the way to behave. Did you guys ever see that episode of Black Mirror where this woman put some implant in her daughter so she always knew where her daughter was because at some point when she was 3, the daughter wandered off and couldn't find her. And then the mom got obsessed with checking to see where the daughter was. And then she stopped for a little while, but when her daughter got into the teenage years, she started getting anxious and nervous again. That something would happen to her daughter. But anyways, that daughter, when she was younger, when she was experimenting at 13, she her mother would block out certain images. Oh, thank you, Christy. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Her mother would block out, the implant in her head had the ability to block out visuals and sound. So when anything would scare her and her mother recognized that, she would censor her. She would censor the kid. So the kid never, like, there were certain things in her life that she never experienced because her mom would censor her. But one thing that she was able to experience is one day when her mom wasn't paying attention, she was watching porn with a guy she liked. And that's how she thought sex should be. That's how she thought she should make noise and stuff. And so that's a downfall of that. I'm not sure what episode it was. It wasn't in this last season. It was this season before that. But the girl, yeah, she had an implant in her brain. And then the crazy part about it is that the girl, when she started having sex, she got pregnant, and her mother gave her medication to abort the baby without her even knowing. And it's because the thing in her brain and in her body told her mother that she was pregnant when she got it, and it's on a tablet, the information. And so the mother like looked up birth control medication or whatever. It was very easy in the future, and she put it in her morning smoothie. And then the girl ended up finding out that she had had an abortion, and she didn't even know she was pregnant. And she told her mom, and her mom was like, yeah, you really should practice safe sex. It's crazy. Anyways, dating Americans is a wild ride, says Danny the girl. Oh. Let's see. Dawn says, I think part of the reason she was with him was to get back at her cheating ex-husband. But she's been broken up with that ex-husband. So I'm not sure what that was about. Is Laura back in the USA? I don't know. I don't look for spoilers. I don't follow them on social media. Like, I do follow Aladeen, actually, because I said I would that one time. And I'm about to unfollow him, too, because I don't care. But he took a picture with a friend, and the friend looks like he's wearing peach lipstick. The friend looks like he's wearing peach lip color. And I showed it to Chris, and Chris said it was because it's a filter. It's a beauty filter, which I couldn't even tell. But I don't know if you guys can see this. Oh, you can't see it. Is it going to focus on it? Well, anyways, this guy in the picture, he looks like he's wearing peach lip gloss. It's so crazy. But yeah, I'm going to stop following him immediately. Ooh, it's hot. Let's see. I hate spoiling the show for myself, says Tiana. Yeah, I don't look at anything because I don't want to spoil anything. So Fresh something says, how did she not know polygamy was on the table? She's selfish for not bothering to learn anything at all about him besides shallow intentions. I mean, we don't know. I mean, she didn't know, but like, we don't know that it's shallow intentions. I think some hot guy really likes her, and so she is attracted to him. Hi, Olga. Hi, Wa. I've been married to Arab in the UAE for 10 years. All I can say is it's never your man. Hi, Wa. I've been married to Arab in EAU for 10 years. All I can say, it's never your man. I don't know what that means, Olia. Explain. I mean, if that's all you can say, then maybe you can't explain. Kaylin says, I just started watching the show after you talked about it on your last live. It's crazy. I love it. Oh, watch 90 Day Before the Other Way. It's even better. It comes on Sundays. Tuka says, I think Paul should ask for a DNA test, and he can finally shut up. He already took, wait, no, she took a pregnancy test. Olga, I don't understand what you mean. Yeah, never your man's fault. Yeah, what do you mean? What do you mean, Olia? And Love After Lockup, Kaylin B. Yeah, you watch Love After Lockup too. Love After Lockup is Fridays. 90 Day Fiancé Before the 90 Days is Sunday. 90 Day Fiancé The Other Way is Mondays. Melanie C says, I get what she's saying, that your man is everybody's man. Oh. My name is Daniel. Hello, Danielle. Maybe she is that the mans are always wrong and never take ownership. Olia says he will cheating. Oh. It's culture to cheat? George and Anfisa should be on Love After Lockup. They should. They really should. Oh, thank you, Olga. I say Olga because Chris told me that Olga is supposed to be pronounced as Olya. Is that right? Olya? Should it be, is it Olga or Olya? Thanks for your input. Somebody emailed me about not Azan, what's his name? Sumit and Indian culture, which when the next time that because there was no Jenny and Sumit in this episode, but when their episode comes back again next week, I'll read the email. It's very informative about Indian culture. And I knew that to be true, but I just wanted to tell you guys, like, so you guys can love it. You guys can listen to it. It is what it is. All right, you guys, we're at 40 minutes. We had a good little kiki about this show. I want to thank you guys so much who are in the room right now. I'm going to end this because I have to go to work. I have to leave for my house in 20 minutes to go to work. I almost forgot. So, Poldark is so good. There's a lot of shows on Amazon that I'm going to start watching. I'm going to start watching Lore, and I'm going to watch the ABC Murders, which is based off of Agatha Christie book. If you guys have Netflix, watch Outlander. And I will kiki with you guys about Outlander all day, every day. Right now, I'm rewatching season 5 of RuPaul's Drag Race. I watch it every night before I go to bed. So I started with season 1, and I watched season 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 5. And I'm just going to continue watching RuPaul's Drag Race, Outlander, like whatever strikes my fancy. So if you have, I'm glad you like Poldark. If you have Netflix, watch Outlander. If you have Amazon Prime, watch Lore and ABC Murders, because I'll be watching those things too. I haven't started yet, but I'll start to watch them. So yeah, watch them. Let's watch TV together. I don't know if I'll talk about them in videos per se, but if we have the opportunity to, maybe I will. All right, you guys, top dreadlocks. Oh, thanks. These are not dreads. These are braids, but thank you. I want to thank you guys so much for being in this room with me. I want to thank Tiana for doing the Lord's work. She's back. She's here. She's moderating for us. Tiana, you missed it yesterday, girl. Morning tea was a whole mess. Lynn J was doing the Lord's work. Okay. We had trolls galore because I was talking about the shootings. Teacher Jan, I do watch Pose. Well, I haven't watched it yet, but it's recording and I will watch it. All right, you guys, that's it. I want to say goodbye. Have a fantastic week. I will see you next week with all of the other juicy shows that we watch. And I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend as well. Bye. Ooh, it's almost Friday. Be you, be true, and find your place. Bye.